Guys, here I am in the laundry room, and I am ecstatic. I am looking at this old photo album again. I was just on the phone with my aunt, and she mentioned to me, she said, can you go look at one of the pictures? This is the picture of a grave site that we have here, and there's a name, and I could hardly read, it's Richardson. And there's a woman on here, and my aunt said that she had solved the mystery of who this woman was. And I said, okay, fantastic. So I came out here and I was looking at it, and a whole bunch of shiver down the back of my neck. Strange things have happened since I just spent 20 minutes on the phone with her. Let's go over this mystery and a couple others that I think we can now solve. And then I want to do a spirit box session because this is crazy. Like, I'm getting full body shivers right now. It's like they're like, yeah, you're getting it. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, Richardson. And on that tombstone it says, in loving memory, Samuel W. Richardson. And then it has, I think it's 1888 to 1945. And it says, husband of Nettie Reed. So just to note as well, guys, I don't have my phone in this room. It's upstairs. So there's no way that the app can be listening to any of this information I'm giving you guys. We're filming on the camcorder. This is Jeanette Reed. Okay, but everybody called her Nettie. And on the top of this photograph, it says July 1959. And so we're assuming that this is Nettie. Okay, that would have been her husband's gravesite. She died in 1965. So this was 6 years before she died. And she was my great-grandfather Henry's sister. So that's Nettie Reed. We solved who that was. That's the first thing, okay? So we can ask some questions about that. Now, in this book, we also saw there was one other photo with a name on it that had the photo. There was one that had a name under it and no photo, and one that had a photo with the name. I'll show you guys that right now. So this fella here, this looks like C. Hibbard, but it looks like C-U-C-V, maybe? I don't know. And that's important. If I look at this fella, he looks like maybe he's in his late 20s, early 30s. C. Hibbard. In my aunt's research, she came across a Hibbard, Caspar V. Hibbard, 1808 to 1883. Now that photograph I just showed you guys, that's one of those metal plate photographs. So that would be 1800s photo. Does it make sense if this guy's in his 30s? That would have been probably 1840. A metal plate photograph from the 1840s? It kind of makes sense. So is that Caspar V. Hibbard? And he would have been my great-grandfather's great-great-uncle. That's who that was. If that's the guy. C.V. Hibbard. Caspar Hibbard. Okay, so we think we figured out who that gentleman is. Now here's the strange part, guys. I've been through this book 3 times. My aunt went through this book last week when I was gone down in Florida. She came over and looked at the book, and she was going through the stack of photos. And she said, no, I didn't see any other names. Well, as I'm on the phone with my aunt, I flipped back one page, full body shiver, and I just lifted this page up, and I got a glare in the sunshine, and I realized there is writing under a lot of these photos. When this book was wet 2 weeks ago, there was no writing. We couldn't see it. But now that the book is drying out, the ink is coming back through. I'm going to flip you guys around and show you. I can't read. I can't read the handwriting. It's very faded, and you have to get a certain sun glare on the page. I've seen at least 10, 12 photos here that have names written underneath them. And what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to take photographs of these with my high-resolution digital camera and then play with them on the computer to see if I can make the ink stand out so that we can actually get the names of who these people were. But I'll show you what I can see with my naked eye. See this fella right here? Look underneath. If we lift this up, if we can get a glare, there's a name. Look at Fred. And it looks like Martin. I could be wrong on that. And then beside Fred, we've got another name written over here. HD. I don't know. Can't make that one out. But they're there. There's another name down here on this one. The two girls. Okay, so I don't know. There is a whole whackload of these. There's a name. Can you see the ink? There's another name. So we should possibly be able to find out who these guys were. Oh, I just got another name. I flipped the page, guys, and I got right in there, and I can make out what this guy's name is, and I think my aunt mentioned him. Let's just hang on. Let's give my aunt a call really quick. This fella right here, I'll flip you guys around. It's an old, again, metal photo. Archie Reed. That is Archie Reed. Hello. I found it. I got another name here out of the book. Did you mention Archie Reed?
Archie Reed?
Yes.
Yeah, that was Grandpa Reed's dad.
Okay, so that would be my great-great-grandfather.
Yes, because he'd be my great-grandfather, he'd be your great-great-grandfather.
Well, have you ever seen him? Do you know what he looks like?
No.
Okay, well, there's a tin photo of him here. He's got big sideburns, big bushy sideburns. Quite a striking fellow.
Birth 1853, death 1916. Glanford Station, Hamilton.
That's Archie Reed's?
Yep.
1916 he died.
It says death April 9th, 1916, age 62, birth June 24th, 1853.
Okay, so by the look of this photograph, I'm going to say he was 40. So we know that this photograph here would have been probably the 1890s then, that metal photograph right there.
Yeah.
Late 30s or, up to 40, somewhere in that range. So that gives us a cool idea about the age of some of these photos anyway.
Well, yeah, because he only had, let's see here, he had only one brother, and his brother was Daniel Reed.
You said that Adam Young was a German Palatine?
Yes.
Young does not seem like a German name to me.
No, that's the one that the name was. His actual real name is, I don't know if I say this right because I'm not a good German, okay? Johann, or whatever.
Yes.
And then it says Adam, Jung, but use Young.
Jung. Okay, so it's Johann Jung.
But he used the name Adam Young. Even if you look at any old history on the TV, there's one thing you know.
Well, okay, this is important to know because I just did a spirit session and I asked about Adam Young. I said, that doesn't seem like a German name. Maybe it says Johann in there somewhere. Now, tell me again about this, what happened to Adam Young. He was a loyalist, he was a German Palatine, and they burnt his lands and estates, and he went to live with the Mohawks?
The Mohawk, he went with his son. After they burnt all his stuff and stole all his possessions, and there's even an actual write-up of all the stuff they took that he had tried years later to sue New York to get back, it'd say 6 long horned steers and so many hogs and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And apparently this was done because he was a loyalist. And he had fought against them in this thing called Butler's Rangers.
Okay.
And they fought with the Indians.
Okay.
But he also had a trading post that he traded with the Indians as well in New York, but they ransacked everything and took everything.
Was he the one who married the Mohawk woman who had the child that was going to be the chief?
No, his son, John, but again, they say his real name was Johan or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Johan. No, John Young, his son, had worked in with the Mohawks and apparently married this, like her Indian name's weird, Capadunka or something like that. And they called her Catherine.
Cavadunka, and they called her Catherine?
Yes.
Okay.
It was her mother that was the matron of the Bear Claw. And she had a weird name too. I couldn't even begin to say that one.
And the matron of the Bear Claw, they were the ones who named the next chiefs.
I gather, because it said had she lived long enough, she would have been able to name her oldest son Abraham, but being that she didn't, her brother Seth became the chief.
Wow, this is fascinating.
Died or whatever.
This is fascinating stuff. So I'm going to continue on with my spirit box, but yeah, I just wanted to let you know that we do have a photograph of Archie Reed here as well. So okay, so I've got Necrophonic, we've got the family photos, and I just want to ask any family members that are here and enjoying my excitement over finding this history, can you come through and say something? I thought I heard Seth there, but I don't know. What is this guy's name? Right there. Fred Martin, I'm pretty sure. Well, hello, Fred.